having a time when we are not focused on the 5,000 tasks we need to do, but able to like daydream and wonder about possibilities. And that then can create or facilitate creativity.
Yeah.
And that's what play does too. Play associates with creativity.
Hi, I'm Caroline Howard, a biblical counselor and certified life breakthrough coach.
And I'm Chris Oneth, marriage and family therapist and executive director of Downey Park Counseling Associates.
Welcome to our next question, where we attempt to answer the questions of life through conversations in psychology and Christianity.
Remember, this is a place of discovery and definitely not the final answer.
Hey, we're back. I never get to do the welcome back.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm so sorry,
I just
Caleb.
did.
Call us a nice
Hey,
job.
we're back.
We've been. You just swooped right in there.
They're like,
I
oh, you need to
love
do
it.
a take two. That first one wasn't good.
No, that was great. You go with what you know.
That was perfection, Caleb.
There you go, and we're on the fly here.
I
This
know.
is all ad lib.
So we're talking about fun today.
Yes.
Which we were like, wow, we talked a lot about fun in the beginning of last week's episode when we talked about skydiving and escape room, golfing, all of
Sure.
that. So another thing I think that golfing this is what it is.
Okay.
Doing physical therapy for my wrist after surgery
Oh.
got me motivated to work out exercise.
I keep telling you
Kind
about
of-
working out and exercising
Okay,
all the
but
time,
not
and
in
you
that-
poo-pooed me.
But not in that sense of let me rephrase, of taking care of my body
Yes.
even better, because I feel like I do a pretty
Yes.
good job at taking care of my body.
That's
But
the
more
somatic
movement.
interaction. Yes.
More movement.
Totally,
Would say that.
absolutely, 180%.
Okay. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not running. Let's just make those things clear.
I do. Those are the things I do.
Just think, if you're going to
But-
need to run, you'll be
No.
In trouble.
in bad
It
shape.
can, whatever wants to chase me down and kill me can chase me down and kill me, because I'll be in
wow.
heaven
Oh,
where
good
I'll
invitation.
never need to run again.
Okay, whatever.
No running in heaven.
No running. That's right. That's why it's heaven. There's no running.
Oh, wow.
I bought a walking pad, like a treadmill, but they call them just a walking pad because it's literally like, it looks like this table.
What?
But it has a treadmill so I can walk on it.
It,
And a standing desk.
oh.
I have
And-
a coworker that has that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's not electrically driven. It's
It
just.
is electrically
Oh, it
driven.
is.
I don't know why they call them walking pads. It's really just a
Why
treadmill.
don't you just walk outside?
It's for people who hate running.
Because no, I do walk outside, but now when I'm doing like my courses or schoolwork, or even when I'm journaling now, my computer stays up on that desk.
Okay.
I turn on the thing, and
So
I'll,
that's a kinesthetic sort
totally
of quality
I'm
there.
getting both sides of my brain activated
Physical,
with the bilateral stimulation,
mental, spiritual, and emotional. Sure.
It's been great.
I keep telling you.
Even my son was like, "Oh, Mom, can you look something up for me?" And I'm like, "Yep." And I turn on the walking pad, and then I like look at.
walk out. Okay.
Where normally I just sit on the couch and do it.
I wonder if there's a way to make it so that your computer is like powered by the walking pad,
That
so
would
that it
be
won't work
sweet.
unless you're walking.
That's
but now
why
I'm getting my 10,000 steps a day
Oh,
pretty
yeah?
for
easily.
I try to do
You.
that too. Yeah.
I
this
love
is
it.
the second time I'm super impressed with you.
Wow.
No, I mean, not in history, but sorry, in the history. Finally, you're making.
Okay, everybody step count check.
Oh,
What are you at?
what is my step?
Oh, my
count?
step count. Okay, let's do it.
Good gravy.
I am.
I
At
did not go walking today.
6,994.
You
Wow.
are
And I've
crushing
done
it.
5 flights of stairs.
I'm only at 3,479.
Killing
I got
it.
some work to do to get to my
You
10,000.
do.
Okay,
But
where am
the
I?
day is
I am
young.
at.
Can we get some
I'm at
walking pads?
2,733.
Okay, so you have the most work to do.
We might
Me?
have to go walking later.
We need-
Yesterday, I was at 6,129.
Yesterday I was at 12,200.
On Wednesday, I was at 11,089.
Nice job. I'll give you some for that.
We need
And
to
I'm
be
finally impressed
America's.
with you.
Finally.
We need to be America's first walking pad podcast.
Oh.
Where we just walk the whole time.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That would be so fun.
This is,
I'm in.
okay.
We're gonna-
I mean, we could up the. We could up the value of this whole
Let's
thing.
just take this whole thing on the road. We'll do an escape room. We'll go hiking
We'll
while
just
recording.
do random things.
We'll go to parks and just walk around.
Chris, the next big like adventure trip you go on, we're gonna strap a mic to you and just get.
So
that way you don't need to tell
Would
us
you
about
like
it
to
when you
hear
get back.
a little bit about the next adventure trip I'm going on?
No. So
Hurtful.
anyways, Caleb. Wait, but I'm picturing Caleb with like one of those cameras, like they strap onto their body, like they walk around.
Oh,
and
gosh.
so he's just videoing us like that, and we have mics and we're just doing things.
How we be doing? We need to do more kung fu.
I bet we get more YouTube followers.
Oh, probably. They're looking for an accident.
That's exactly what it would be. Hey, tell me about your next adventure, Chris.
Well, I'm hoping I'm not telling about it too soon.
Why?
So it is at the end of September.
Okay.
And early October. I'm going to take 2 weeks. And on the 26th of September, Mel and I are going to go see Dwight Yoakam at the Fruit Yard.
Fun.
Fruit Yard? Yes, Fruit Yard.
Right by your house.
The very next day, I am jumping on my motorcycle and motorcycling all the way to a place called Melville, Louisiana.
All the way to Louisiana.
That is true.
You're going to be walking like a cowboy.
Potentially.
Okay.
So here's what's going on. I have a buddy, a friend,
Okay.
and he is canoeing down the entire length of the Mississippi River.
How many miles
Starting
is that?
in Minnesota, gazillion. Let's just say gazillion. Starting in Minnesota, beneath a place that you can walk across from 5 steps down. So, no, it's seriously, the headwaters of the Mississippi are like trickly, like nothing.
Wow.
So he's going to have to walk the canoe parts overland portage and then slap it back in the water. And he's going to be rowing down the Mississippi. So what's going to happen is I am going to Melville, Louisiana. Then I am storing my bike there in Melville and being shuttled up to Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Where are you Do you know where you're storing your bike, or do you
I most certainly do. I've met a friend.
Of course you have. Of course you have.
There are Facebook pages dedicated to either paddling in the Mississippi River one Facebook page is called Mississippi River Angels, and these are people who practice hospitality along the Mississippi. It is so incredible.
Oh my gosh,
I know, right?
Love
That's
that.
like I had some friends that did the Pacific Northwest Trail, and there's angels all along there as well.
Trail Angels, same concept.
This gave me chills. I love that.
I know, I love that idea too.
There is still human kindness.
So this is the greatest thing. So I posted on Mississippi River Angels, hey, here's my plan. And they posted this guy's number. And so I contact him. And so I am in contact with a guy named Vaughn Godot.
Oh, you're loving this.
Oh,
you are. This is so God right here.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I text him, we text back and forth. I finally get a hold of him. He calls, leaves a message. Super accommodating.
Wait, so is his first name just Vaughn?
Vaughn.
And his last name is
Godot.
Godot.
You
Vaughn,
talk about,
if you ever listen to our podcast,
I'm sending this one to him.
Telling you right now, you have done great things for this man. Just by having the name Vaughn to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So he is full on French Cajun.
Okay.
French
Cajun.
Well, okay. So I reach out to him. He leaves a message, and super nice guy. And if I can indulge here, he's like, Chris, man, we're going to take care of you. We're very friendly here in Melville. We're about 1,000 people. Everybody smiles and waves at each other. And we like to say, people on the river happy to give.
Vaughn, I've never met you, but I love you already.
Oh, I know, right? And so I call him up. We have a conversation, and now we're fast friends.
I want to be his friend.
I know, right? And so I am super late. He's a musician.
Vaughn, if you ever come to California, I'm a Houston Angel.
That is awesome. That is so cool. So yeah, he has offered to have his place where my bike's stored. He even talked about his brother is into motorcycling, sent me a picture of his brother's motorcycle, and we're like, yeah. Anyway, so he has graciously offered for gas money to take me to Vicksburg. Where he's going to, I imagine, slow down to 25 and push me out the door. No, but I'm going to meet Dave.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yes, thank you. Stop, drop, and roll. Duly noted.
Okay.
So then I'm going to jump in the river with Dave. Oh. Now the Mississippi, it goes by Vicksburg. And so, but at some point it gets pretty industrial, and there's huge barges and big ships. And so it gets unfun. My understanding is it gets unfun to navigate that. So there's an offshoot called the Atchafalaya.
Okay.
And the Atchafalaya there's an offshoot, and you go through bayou, alligators. And this is where Melville, Louisiana comes in.
Do you take a gun?
I don't know. I'm gonna. My buddy and I are gonna make it through the power of our personalities.
Well, I mean, I don't doubt that.
I should give the buddy's name, Dave Conway.
Okay.
Dave is Dave is an
awesome.
adventurer.
Obviously.
And Dave is the type of guy who says he for the last 40 years he's been going through a midlife crisis. So this is essentially, and this is probably a whole different podcast episode, but I've always been one for people, in my case, guys, doing things that are good and healthy for them throughout their lives.
Yeah.
Adventures, things that are meaningful, exciting. And in this way, you don't hold off until this crisis point and then do something ridiculous and stupid to nuke your situation, like have an affair or, shoot up drugs or whatever.
I mean, Winnie the Pooh said it best himself. Adventure is a wonderful thing. Actually, it was Tigger. It was Tigger.
Okay, there you go. Whew, you said it with such confidence.
It's from Winnie the Pooh.
That was very. Okay,
that's what I was saying.
Tigger was having a lot more fun.
E.B. White, right? E.B. White, is that the author?
That's
that's
Charlotte's Web. I believe.
You're right. You're right. Well, who's then the poo-poo?
We should who's the poo-poo? Wait, did you look up how many miles the Mississippi River was, Caleb?
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
I was a gajillion, right, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, we were just going with that.
He's busy on his phone doing better things.
So wait, when you jump into the river with him, does he have like a 2-man canoe?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna be in the canoe with
him
fighting alligators.
So he says, bring a bug net, like for your head. Bring a hat. Bring longs. Because there's going to be bugs and alligators and fighting them off with the oars and I don't know. But anyway, it's all adventure, man. It's all fun. Like unknown. Yeah. I super look forward to shaking Von Godot's hand.
I hope you get pictures with him, and
dude, there's like a
wait
town
till you get back.
of Godot, Louisiana.
Godot.
And it's I guess the family. I mean, it's a full-on French name, and that's where the Cajun people are. So I will hope to meet and hear music and eat things, and it'll be crazy.
Yeah, things. Who knows what you're gonna eat?
So on the way there, I'm going to be passing the Hoover Dam. Going to go see that.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to be pulling into the small town who are fighting off the banditos and helping them, and then moving along with narrow word per rugged stranger.
Of course.
And I'll be going through Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh.
Checking up on the aliens.
I mean, there's definitely some weird things that might happen to you on this trip.
I will be stopping.
Gators, aliens,
Making a stop in Dallas, Texas.
Ooh.
And then Melville. So looking forward to it.
Nice. So in Dallas, Texas, you'll be fighting cows. We've got to have something adventurous.
I have a buddy there I'm going to look up and see if, I can get some sort of food out of him or something. No. Dr. Bill Morgan. So is an old mentor. Not an old, a mentor that goes way back. I don't want to call him an old mentor. That's, although he probably wouldn't care if I said old mentor.
Yeah. 2 weeks you'll be gone doing
I'll be gone 2 weeks. Wheeling the entire time.
Really?
No, I'm actually thinking once I leave Melville on the way back, when I jump back onto dry land, terra firma, I'm thinking about getting back on the bike and then going through Baton Rouge and to New Orleans.
That would be fun.
And I just want to eat food, man. Eat food and see people.
You gotta have some beignets when you're in New Orleans.
Whatever, man. Put it in front of me, I'll eat it.
Oh, good. Yum.
A.A. Milne, by the way, for our trivia
thank
fans
you.
who
Thank you,
have been
Caleb.
waiting
Thank
or
you.
yelling at Chris this whole time.
Gosh, it's crazy.
You're vindicated.
Okay, so
Nice.
today we're talking about why it's important to have fun, or yes,
Fun
is important.
Fun is important.
I would fold that into adventure and stuff like that. And my hope is to have Dave Conway on this episode. So this is a initial call out.
Not on this episode.
Not on this episode.
Like, how is he
on
gonna
this
come in?
podcast?
Right.
Sorry,
He better be
He's
here in
busy.
the next 5 minutes.
He's busy. So related to that, there is an article from Psychology Today, which we're going to include in the show notes, about dreaming, play, and mind wandering.
We like Psychology Today.
And it's got a lot of valuable stuff.
Okay.
So these are all tied in. Dreaming, of course, is a means of the mind to process some of the things that are going on. There is some work in dream interpretation, and the things that go on in our head about dreaming can symbolize different things in our life.
Okay.
But this article talks about how mind wandering or daydreaming and dreaming and play are all actually closely related.
Okay.
And I believe it. It's true. And this is through the study of neuroscience. So see, who thought neuroscience could be that fun?
I love neuroscience.
So dreaming, they say dreaming is a form of daydreaming, like mind wandering.
Yeah.
Except you're asleep,
Okay.
which
Right.
makes sense. Mind wandering is a way to, and believe it or not, it is a means of having an original thought to ourselves.
So mind wandering different than disassociation. Because that's
Now, okay.
that's
Now,
what I'm
thank
thinking
you
of.
for saying that
Yes.
because they also are related.
Okay.
So before we start poo-pooing disassociation, there's parts of us that need to dissociate at times.
Oh, for sure.
In a healthy fashion.
Yes.
But of course, it gets unhealthy when we become dissociated from our own identity and stuff like that.
Right. Right.
So, but having a time when we are not focused on the 5,000 tasks we need to do, but able to like daydream and wonder about possibilities, and that then can create or facilitate creativity.
Yeah.
And that's what play does too. Play associates with creativity. And this article goes on to say that a lot of the play that people and animal species involve in is play fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what boys do.
No. Well, okay, yeah, girls can play at dollhouse or whatever.
Yeah, but our dolls
there's
usually
plenty of
don't
girls
beat each
playing
other
at kung
up.
fu.
Everybody loves kung fu fighting. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever. Although, don't listen. I mean, I had a sister, and she didn't have a lot of dolls. Stuffed animals, yes.
One of my friends has a black belt.
Yes, I
So,
know.
I
Actually,
mean, I
we're
know-
having dinner with that friend.
Is that a
know.
threat?
She could kick your butt.
She most
She could
certainly
kick mine
could.
too. We talk about it all the
Well,
time.
the irony is apparently she's a lot like me. We have a lot of the similar qualities of personality. Well,
You should
number
get a
one,
black belt.
We're cool. No,
and this is why I hang out with both of you.
There you go. Right. So,
but
I
this-
watch my dogs, Hans und Franz, and that is all they do is like play fight.
This is true. Yeah.
And yeah, and it's so funny to watch them because one will sneak up on the other, and they'll leap in the air and do all the kinds of crazy things. But yeah, so.
But this reminds me. Reminds me of a couple episodes ago. Why Ask Why, and we even talked about like making space for asking why, because we fill our space with everything.
Yes.
But people don't dream, play, and let their mind wander anymore.
Yes,
because
and it's
again,
absolutely necessary.
Like I said, then we take our phones to the bathroom with us, so that we never have time with just our own self.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we're going to get into a few episodes from now. We're going to get into being overstimulated.
I can't. It's overstimulating.
It's just too much. But part of the reason why it's so overwhelming to us is because we don't allow fun and mind wandering.
Right.
So,
Okay.
So there's a book that I read a couple years ago. It's called The Power of Fun by Catherine Price. And it's funny that you mentioned the phone thing too, because her most well-known book is How to Break Up with Your Phone,
nice.
which she wrote before this. But I think the book kind of gets into that too, like the fact that our phones so often keep our minds from actually having that space to wander.
Yes.
And she talks so much about like how we often consider fun as a frivolous and like unnecessary thing, whereas really it's important for our mental health to have that exploration.
Yes.
And to to let our minds be free and have that space. I remember one thing in particular she mentioned was like kids have playgrounds that they go, and the playgrounds you kind of create your own rules for it. And so she was talking about the importance of like creating playground spaces as adults as well. And
Isn't
so then
that something?
I started thinking about that. I'm like, what's a playground that I could create? And we've done several, like a murder mystery or, kind of thing like that. What I came up with was like, well, I like drinking tea. Maybe I'll have a tea party. And I'm like, well, I don't have that many friends that are that into drinking tea. And then the idea developed to create a letter tea party. So I invited people and I said, okay, you can come like dressed in like either clothes starting with the letter T or a costume of the letter T, brings a snack starting with the letter T.
That's
we'll play games that start with the letter T.
Did everybody wear T-shirts?
Yeah, a lot of people did. A lot of people did.
Mandatory dress.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun because it was just like everyone showed up with like random stuff that they never would have brought otherwise. We like wrote little tributes to tea. Everyone wrote their own like poem that could only have words starting with the letter T.
My tea is bigger than your tea.
And it was like one of my favorite things I've done in the past few years.
That has all the
that.
elements, Caleb, because it has creativity, right? It has fun, laughter. And so part of what blocks us from fun is the idea that it's a waste of time. And believe it or not, so this, I'm taking this from the article that I wrote, and Caroline will include this in the link, is the article is entitled "The Problem Is No Fun: Why Fun and Problems Both Need Space in Our Head." Okay. So part of the appeal of the problem is it gives us purpose. It gives us parameters. It's something to solve. And so it's like, no, and when we say problem, the problem can be like, I've got to get to work on time. The problem can be, I've got to figure out how to get the kids here, and then I got to be there. Or the problem is, it's time to balance the checkbook, right? When I say problem, I don't necessarily mean negative thing. It's just something that needs attending. Right. And so that is very appealing, especially to people who want to feel purpose driven and all this other stuff, that we have a problem letting go of the problem. So fun becomes, problems like out of work, alcoholic brother that we're like, ooh, no, I don't have time for fun. But some of the words that, so I gave kind of a definition here. Fun can simply be a way to get out of our heads, to momentarily lose ourselves to an activity or pastime which we can in which we can experience joy. Fun words include, are you ready for this? Excitement, relaxation, relief, laugh, play, exuberance, silly, banter, giddy, meaningful. But can also include words like danger, challenge, reward, goal, and prize.
I like that, giving words to fun, because I think that it's key for people to know fun is different for everybody.
Yes.
What's fun for you, going canoeing down the Mississippi River, it does not sound like fun for me. Now, I'm excited for you to have that fun, but that would not...
you'll be so jealous.
That would be terror for me.
It's weird. In that list of words, I didn't hear alligator.
Right?
Danger.
No, you did hear. Yeah, that's true. There
That's
was
fair,
danger.
that's fair.
Well, and when I say danger, I mean like I've been on my mountain bike, I've been on the motorcycle, and feel like I'm losing the back wheel, and then recover, and then make it over that.
And then you're
thing.
laughing hysterically.
And then I'm like, yes, exactly. I'm like, woo, dog, and then I lift one hand in the air, and then I lose control.
That's what I was doing when I jumped out of an airplane.
Yeah,
that was perfectly safe to be in. I didn't. Yeah,
totally.
You did have a parachute, right?
I did have a parachute,
and it totally
So
gets you out of your head.
Yeah.
So in past episodes, we have talked about burnout and all that other stuff. And the way to avoid burnout is to have the times when you get out of your head.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, yes, the problem is meaningful. We need to have a problem, right? We need a challenge.
Yeah.
But it can also, the problem is it can call the shots, and it can shape how we approach life. If we walking into the room and are constantly seeing, I got to fix this, I got to fix that, I got to fix that. That's not a rest. It's not a type of Sabbath. And of course, the problem brings friends. It's like, oh, you got this to take care of? Hey, I got all these other things you need to take care of too.
Yeah.
So, but fun is important too. It's needed also, and to dismiss that then dismisses, believe it or not, the blessings that part of the blessings that God wants to show us. I mean, how many of us have fun going to a foodie meal? Doesn't necessarily have to be fancy.
Food.
It could just be foodie.
I love food.
Oh my gosh, food is so great.
Food is fun.
Can't disagree.
Especially when it tastes yummy and I'm eating it. It's really fun.
So fun is great in that, and we should allow ourselves. That's why I'm super happy about your golfing.
Because fun.
It's fun for you, and it gets you out of your head.
Totally out of my head.
Finally.
Because golfing is a head game.
Ooh.
And if you get too much into your head, which there's some people I golf with, I won't mention names,
use
do
the force.
that. When you get out of your head, which is what my father-in-law keeps telling me, because he's an avid golfer and he's taught me a lot. He's like, get out of your head. And when I'm out of my head,
wow,
dang, I play so much better.
Isn't that something? There's this flow.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, same thing on the motorcycle. When I'm off-road and I'm super tense about, oh gosh, I got to go over this, I got to go over that. my pal Brian Firkins, who's an excellent writer, is say you gotta loosen up, you gotta relax, you gotta let the bike do the work, and it's something you don't quite understand until it starts happening, and then you're like,
yeah.
So now I'm getting more relaxed on the bike, and I'm not, my body isn't as sore and tired afterward because I am letting the bike start to work, and yeah, it's just there's a certain amount of letting go, and learning how to let go.
Yep.
Yeah. So the fun, of course, is just as needed as the problem.
Yes.
If we don't have fun, we will. This is part of, I think, one of the biggest things in mental health is we want to control so tightly so many things because we are anxious about it, because all that stuff, and fun helps us let go. There are people, I'm sure you know some of them, who refuse to have fun. They have a hard time just letting loose.
Yeah.
Right? And so, jumping into the water, in the pool or whatever. Oh, man. Part of the fun I had over these past couple of weeks is I've got to bathe several times in a natural body of water. So great.
I like that you look at me with that smile, like I'm going to be like, yeah, that sounds fun. No. All I can think about is the creepy crawlies that are in that water.
I looked at you not because you were going to go, ooh, yeah. I looked at you because I knew you'd be like, ooh. There is no more pristine and beautiful water than in a natural body of water. I'm not talking about the Ganges. I'm talking about like up in the Sierra where you get in and it's cold, but then
because it's melted snow.
Your Castile bar of soap, which is biodegradable, all natural, and you got your swimsuit, and then you kind of wash everything, and then you feel amazing the rest of the day, and there you go.
So, do you notice a difference in bathing that way than like taking a shower at home? Or is it just more of a mental thing?
No, it's more funner. Listen, even getting in the cold water, it's like it's not freezing the whole time.
Yeah,
you get used to it. Unless it's rushing cold water, then it replenishes itself. So,
well, then you're exfoliating.
I like to
at the
picture
same time.
that this is Chris's morning routine.
Oh man!
Every day he goes up to the mountain.
I do have a canal.
He does have a canal behind his house.
So fun gets us out of our head, and fun is an experience. Now, what do I mean by experience? Well, of the 4 parts of ourself, right? Emotional, spiritual, mental, physical, and experience encompasses all of those things. It's not just a mental exercise. It's not just thinking in my head, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. It's physically stepping through and doing it. And it's also can hold great meaning, and enable the parts of our mind to open up into creativity as we further relax and have different synapses in our head firing. And emotional, it feels amazing. Now, part of the warning there is if you're not used to having fun, you're going to have to get past some emotional stuff and where you might feel guilty and uncomfortable and all that other stuff. That is a threshold that once you're able to just like let loose. Let's put it this way. My wife loves dancing. So every time we go to a wedding, she is out on the dance floor. Awesome. There is no stopping her.
Yeah.
I love to be with my wife. I am not totally comfortable with dancing, which is weird because I am a physical guy, but that is just vulnerable to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to get out there and make myself do it. And once I do, and I lose my, okay, I'm not performing for anyone, then maybe a few drinks help too.
That's what I was going to say.
But I'm not so self-conscious. And and then I'm able to just be like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing. Right. And so, yeah. And fun. It's an experience, but it's also in the moment.
Yeah. Well, so both of those really quick, because fun experience reminded me of something, and then you saying in the moment.
Yeah.
So my son and I, he's 13, and I love doing this with him. We'll just be driving anywhere. Like we have a place to go. We've done our errands, or we went there, and he'll be like, I wonder where that road goes. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Let's see. And so we take random little road side trips all the time. Just turning down
off-road, four-wheeling.
Well, no, my Tesla doesn't go off-road.
Wonk, wonk, wonk.
But we'll just, now let's turn that way, and it's just, we'll get to a stop sign. Which way should we go? And he just picks.
Oh, cool.
And every time we get done, we're always like, that was fun.
But that sounds like a great memory.
so-
Hopefully he's going to hold and be like, my mom used to go like, I'd be like, hey, where does that go? And she'd be like, well, let's go see it.
Yeah. I mean, I never did that with any of my other kids, but for some reason with him, he just loves to do those little exploring things and they're unexpected. They're just, they're random and
that's some of the spontaneous. Now, believe it, for a lot of planner people, that can be like, oh my gosh, then I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to plan out 50 steps ahead of what's going to happen. You can kind of see what happens and and then even be present in that and not just in your head, oh my gosh, I got to do this, I got to do that, or this might happen and that might happen.
Right. I mean, sometimes we have to put a time limit. Like, hey, we just came from the grocery store. There's ice cream in the back of the car.
Oh, no.
Let's take 5 or 10 minutes.
Or eat the ice cream.
Oh.
Yeah?
It's fun.
That's fun.
You're welcome.
There's the food part.
So when I go into the natural body of water, and it's not like I see it teeming with fish.
No,
you
but
can
there's
see
things
the rocks.
you can't see in there that are in there, and there's orifices that they're going to crawl into.
No,
I'm just saying.
Hasn't happened yet. That's all a theory.
Not that you know of, but when you develop a weird twitch and the doctor's like, "Oh, that's weird." There's
I'm sorry,
something growing.
Caroline, you're not living. I'm sorry. That is so sad for you.
I'm not living with weird things growing inside of me.
Well,
that's
neither am I.
sure.
Neither am I. That's funny. And I'm experiencing things. So anyway, you get in the water. When I get in the water, I don't imagine, oh my gosh, fish are going to come bite me, because that's an imaginary thing. You don't know that's going to happen. And if you freak yourself out at every situation, then you will not live.
You don't know that it's not going to happen.
Oh, okay. I've tried to help you.
Hey, I've gotten out there a lot. You can't expect me to go all the way. One day. Maybe one day.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
I'm golfing.
There you go. I know. That's why I'm like, woohoo. And who knew that you didn't even know you'd like golf so much? You put it off for all these years.
Okay, but that's kind of not true.
What do you mean?
Because I've asked my husband for 10 years, will you take me golfing? And he's told me no.
Oh my word. You need to headlock that
That's
sucker.
the true story. So I finally just inserted myself into
That's
one
the
of
way
his
to do it. You
and my son's
self-advocated.
golfing trips, and
Self-advocated. Good for you.
I haven't turned back since. I'm gonna get you golfing.
I'd love to. If the ball like makes noise and flashes light, then I am all for it, because I cannot see otherwise. So, okay. So here's the fun fix, right?
Okay.
Number one, you got to find fun things by doing and not just thinking about it.
Yes.
Doing
Don't
is a
overthink.
follow through. You've got to do yourself the favor.
Okay, that is
right?
one of my biggest problems, and I'm working on it.
I know. God bless you.
I'm working
So
on it.
putting up roadblocks by saying all sorts of bad things are going to happen are going to keep you from truly experiencing a lot of the depth in
I
life.
feel like you're lecturing me.
I'm so sorry. No, that's not. I'm lecturing everybody else.
I'm just
out
kidding.
in
This isn't about
out
me.
in the land.
This isn't about me. It's not about me.
We're not lecturing at you. We're lecturing near you.
Kudos. Yes. Touche. Yes.
It's not on me if you feel convicted.
Oh, well, you already know all the lines. So, okay. Number 2, make time for the problem and time for fun.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you take fun in a direction where you're avoiding things, Chris Oneth, yes, you will. You that's another problem. So you've got to take care of like unsexy and unfun things, so you can get to. And by the way, the problem can have great meaning too, and we've discussed that a little bit. And it feels great to like solve a problem.
Yeah.
Our problem is we solve one problem and then we go try to tackle the next 3. And while we're doing that, another 10 stack themselves up and we don't give ourselves a break.
Yeah. So you have to take breaks from
So
the
make time for problem, make time for the fun. Number 4, be with yourself and with loved ones. So this means like find fun things to do for yourself.
Yeah.
And then find fun things you like to do with your loved ones. And listen, fun and play in relationships, I cannot emphasize how important that is. You've got to have a good time with your partner. I cannot tell you how many couples come in and I ask them, well, when's the last time you went on a date? When was the last time you did something that you both enjoyed and this, that, and the other thing? And I hear crickets. Not literally, just figuratively, but yes. And it's like, oh, well, or they'll say something. This is another popular one. Well, we did take a weekend to that Tahoe. You know, we went to Tahoe and like she'll look over and go, that was like 3 years ago. That just seems like yesterday.
It
It's so
doesn't
crazy.
count.
Right. Speaking of Tahoe, my wife and I took our canoe out in the water in Tahoe. And at first we headed to Emerald Bay and we were hugging the shore and it was great. And we went into Emerald Bay and had sandwiches and maybe a few beverages. And then we're like, okay, it's time. And we were swimming in a natural body of water. We jump back in the canoe. We're like, we want to get back fast. So we, instead of hugging the shore, we like cut through, and we felt like we were in the ocean. Like there were boats and all these things and the waves, but we have a pretty good canoe, so we made it back. It was fun. Anyway, and we got sunburned. And number 4,
you can't judge people's fun.
What's that?
This is one thing I've learned from a podcast I listened to.
Oh.
You can't judge other people's fun.
That's true.
So just because you don't think it's fun, which is
true,
I'm excited for you and all the things you think that are fun. You can't judge other people's fun.
I think golfing would be fun.
Okay.
That would be awesome. If I could only see.
I have orange balls. That's what I play with.
That's a good idea.
Because I can't see the white ones, but I can see my orange one.
Because you're orange haired.
No, it's because she loves the Giants so much.
Oh, yay.
And they match my bag.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
And my golf skirt.
Thank you, because she looked like she was going to kill me just now. So thank you, Caleb.
You saved him.
So number 4, when it comes to fun, be ready and flexible.
So we should be ready for fun at all times?
Absolutely.
But we should be flexible with it?
Totally. You should have a fun bag in your car ready to go at all times.
What goes in a fun bag?
Oh, now that's a good idea. I'm going to create that list.
This is why I always keep
Fireworks?
plastic spoons, plastic knives, and straws in my glove compartment.
Really?
Well, yeah. Mainly because the kids and I would go to Crumble Cookie,
There's
and then
an
we'd
eating
want
emergency.
Yes, we'd go to Crumble, and those cookies are big.
They are,
and
huge.
we'd sit in the car, and like they try to break it and they smush it.
Yeah.
Plastic knives in the car.
Ah.
We cut up the Crumble Cookie.
There you go.
Prepared for fun.
I have an entire kitchen in my car.
You do.
So,
You do.
So anyway,
He's
a little
really ready
overkill.
for fun.
I am super ready for fun. Anyway.
I have a can of beans. Can anybody help me out? Chris is
Yeah,
like,
right.
Come to my truck.
Funny you should ask. Yeah, I was like, where did you randomly get a can? Okay, so I hope this has been helpful.
Fun.
I hope it's been fun. Stop listening now and go have fun.
Go have fun.
But before you have fun,
do something fun.
Leave a review on this here platform.
That would be fun.
Share with a friend, or 5 or 10.
Or 20. I
Even
always
more.
up it. I know. What can I say?
You're always
Sorry.
upping it.
I'm always upping it.
Totally. And yes, or drop us a line. Yeah, send us an email. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, we'll try to get back to you.
Yep. See you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Thanks for joining us today as we continue our journey talking about life's many questions.
To stay connected with us, you can follow us at Downey Park Counseling on both Facebook and Instagram. You can also follow Caroline on Instagram at Relatable Caroline. And make sure you tune in next week for our next question.